I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sir, if you can put mask on, please. Okay, let's stay clear then. All right, the minutes can reflect the roll call of the various trustees and staff. Let's move on to item 3. I entertain a motion for the approval of the 12/21 village board and the 12/29/2020 special village board meeting minutes filed the 6/30/2020 CDA, 11/9 Board of Public Works, 11/18 Police and Fire Commission, 12/9 Architectural Review Board meeting minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion, second. Comments, questions, clarifications, additions to the minutes?
I just have two, okay, quick. The first, special village board meeting minutes, actions pertaining to the closed session. I think that also was missing the fact that the motion was carried on the action for the Police Officers Association contract, correct? Or did we do that all in closed session?
No, we had to do it in open.
And I think it was unanimous.
Yeah, so we can reflect that in the minutes.
And then my only other was for Public Works on page 1. I just wanted to make sure that trustee Krieger and I had spoken. I was actually ill that day, so I'm hoping I was excused versus absent on that day. For the meeting.
You were excused.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? No. All right, we have a motion, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Anybody in the audience on a non-agenda item? All right, let's move on to item 5, business presented by the president tonight. We have in our midst Ann King from the chamber to give the 2020 recap of the tourism promotion and development report. And she said 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. I'll stop whenever you're ready. First, before my 5 minutes start, though, just to cut off the press, it is not, it hasn't been printed in its beautiful form yet, but I just wanted you to see, this is something that we've worked with, Ozarka Economic Development on for the past 7 or 8 years, I believe. It used to be a project that was done by We Energy and Sewer Patch, and when they stopped, we figured out a way to continue it. So it's an economic profile that we do annually. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I forgot. Thank you. Sorry. We do it annually. The information is collected from sources throughout the state, Department of Workforce Development, other entities, and thanks to the help of OED putting together the information. Remember, it's 2020, so there are some businesses reflected in it that will not exist in 2021, but it is a profile of what happened in 2020, just so you know. Typically, what I use this for is to hand when people are looking to start a business, looking for financial institution information to provide when they're asking for loans and things. This is just a comprehensive report that they can use when they're filing information. So we give out about 150 a year. I don't know. I also give supplies to the village and whoever else asks for them. But they're helpful for new businesses starting, and then also for our businesses that are looking for some comprehensive report data that they can use to give to their higher ups. So that's not a tourism thing. I just wanted you to see that that's out of the practice today. Also, not a tourism thing. If you haven't registered for our State of the Community virtual presentation, I would encourage you to do so. That will be held on January 27th. If you need help doing that, call our office. We can register you. Otherwise, we would hope that you'd like to Zoom in and listen to our village president, the town chairman, our superintendent of schools, and the chamber president give updates on what's happening in our community. We have about 75 registered so far, so I'm ecstatic about that. That's a wonderful turnout, even virtually. So we're good about that. So those are my little commercial. I gave you a report. In all honesty, as you know, tourism certainly is something we wanted to promote in 2020. Started out very strong in January, had every hope and intention to have a fantastic, phenomenal year. And then the reality is everything shut down. As a result, tourism certainly isn't something, when people called and wanted to come to our community, we weren't saying, yes, we'd love for you to come and stay overnight with open arms and go into every restaurant and come from Illinois or come from wherever. We are all trying to protect our bubble. We did see a very, very large increase across the county in the use of the Interurban Trail. I think, all of us can say when we looked out our front doors this year, we saw more walkers, more bikers. So I think that's a positive for us in that we know that that's an asset that has increased in value across the board, and that we need to continue to focus on improving that asset as we move forward, and when our income does stabilize and come back to a place where we can really make things happen in our community. I think we did a lot with a little, and I think that specifically our social media presence was impacted dramatically through COVID and the pandemic. Our viewers, our likes, our shares, all of that has exponentially grown like crazy. And I would say that the police department could say the same thing. Public Works can say the same thing. I think people are using social media as their tool to find out what's going on. And the demographic for that is, it used to be maybe more my age. I'm 61. It used to be more people my age, I'm 50 to 60. Now it's really goes across everywhere, I think. We also have worked with Instagram, and I think that's a kind of a younger vibe. So we're, cross promoting that way. But the people that are looking at what we're doing, people who are calling us or emailing us saying, I saw on Facebook, I saw on social media, can you give us more information about the Interurban Trail or whatever, has been a great tool for us, and it has helped spread the word a lot. Our Visit Grafton Facebook page, which Annalise has created, she's our tourism promotion and development coordinator. Visit Grafton, that Facebook page has grown to about a little over 500 viewers in the last couple months, which I think is amazing. And she continues to grow and create new initiatives every day. It's amazing to have a 24-year-old who is just excited about our community and just trying to find new ways to promote everything we do. Her use of this Historic Society book and ways to promote the history of our community are fantastic. Her uses of creating tours for people that can be self-guided, whether they be beer and coffee and art, all of those things. Those are things that she's really been creative enough to think about. She goes out to other communities, buys books, collects information, does a lot of research, attends whatever seminars we can get her on virtually. So every day she's coming up with something new. I shared with you in my report some of those campaigns, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but you can see some of the campaigns that she created for social media. We got a lot of great feedback from them, so that's fun and exciting, and it keeps people interacting. Sarah, Annalise, and I each get, if you are on social media, you know that you get alerts when people are on your Facebook page or on your social media. Sunday nights, we're on Facebook and we're at our phones, while our husbands are watching football, and we're just laughing and texting each other back and forth saying, can you believe how much this is blowing up and how people are responding? Particularly things like our holiday events. Something we thought was going to be a total bust turned into what we believe was a huge win for our community all across the board. We made what could have been a really horrible thing turn into something great. Other campaigns that we think we did really well that really are not tourism focused, but again, we just really had to do what was best for our community at this time. Our We're All in This Together campaign, where we did Light It Up, and we got the we worked with the village on lighting the bridge blue. So thank you to Amber. We had a very generous donation of a banner that went across the bridge. And then I truly did walk through town on Thursdays and saw the number of blue lights that were in our community. Trustee Love had a nice display in her front yard, as did some of the rest of you, but that was really great. And I think even Aurora lit blue. So I think it was exciting that we started that initiative. We also did it, we were all in it together, all-star team, and we reached out to our essential workers that were not first responders. So we looked at our grocery stores and our sign shop and just our retailers who were out there every day. They didn't choose to work in a pandemic, but they did. And so we felt it was really important, and we got a bank to support us on that, to honor 40 people in our community with their great work over 80 weeks. So we do feel like we really engaged people. We feel like we provided information for our tourism destination, our tourism entities regarding funding that is available for them. We worked really hard to provide updates daily when we can on COVID updates relative to health issues that are going on, financial opportunities that people can have. And so I think, while this has not been our greatest tourism year, I think it has been a great year for us relative to engaging our community and helping build more pride in our community. And so once people are proud of the place they live, think about how much easier it's going to be for us to promote it. So I think that this snowball will only move us upward, not backward. Financially, you all know, you see the numbers. We were significantly impacted by room tax. The real collection up till this point is about $100,000. That's about $180,000 less than we had hoped to receive in 2020. And the big dollars we were hoping were going to come from the DNC, Democratic Convention, and the Ryder Cup. Sadly, those fell apart, and as did, room tax. Thankfully, last year we had some deep discussions about what do we do with the money that's left over, and we had $75,000 in surplus. What happened? Thank you goodness that we had it, because it allowed us to continue and do the work we needed to do and pay our staff and, continue to just do what we do every day and actually literally keep the lights on in our building. So thank you for that. So those rainy day funds are important. Who would have thought we would have had such a rainy day? I also gave you some copies of a couple of things that we did, trying to help promote our businesses. Once the safer at home order was lifted, we worked with Cedarburg to promote our local businesses in the Cedarburg and Grafton combined mailer, which is on your counter there. You just have a couple copies of that. We got 25 businesses from both of our communities to work together to help to try and promote their businesses. And then over the holidays this year, we did something a little different, and we got our businesses to buy into our in-home mailer, which we've done every year. But in addition to that, we did a coupon book, which we are hoping will help stimulate the economy for the first quarter of 2021 in our community. So 1,000 coupon books were distributed throughout our community. Our businesses so far have given us positive feedback on that. We're just going to keep working at it. For 2021, our goals are certainly to go back and look at that banner program that we were hoping to be able to start in 2020. Also hopeful that we can reapply or figure out how to work on that flower bed initiative and figure out how to either put more money or more effort or do whatever we need to do to try to get back at that potential grant. We're certainly very, very in tune and intrigued and hopeful that the trail upgrades, we will be able to begin some of that, specifically signage related a lot to safety on streets like Highway 60 and crossing areas that are just red flag areas for us. And then I'm hopeful that we'll be able to reevaluate and maybe look at going back to the idea of that Paramount Park on 12th Avenue. That project was put on hold, even the RFP side of that. So I'm hopeful that within the next year, we're going to quarter 3 of 2020 compared to quarter 3 of 2021, we received about 25% of the income. So it'll be scary to see how we move forward, but we're going to just do our best with what we have and keep going. How they do?
Great. You always do great.
Oh, thank you. But did I say my 5?
No. It's all good information. I think, the point that you drove home is, you did a lot in a very trying time. And if we can get that much done in tourism and get that much excitement going, as we start to progress out of this, like you said, it's going to be that much more exciting. Any questions for Pam?
Yeah, Pam, I think you and your team did a really nice job. Thank you for all the creativity to keep us going. I really like the highlight of the local businesses that was it Annalise that was doing, or Sarah was doing that.
They're
on Fridays, I think, yeah. Is that something you'll continue to do? Yeah. Okay, and then do you have any idea of how many folks participated in the Grab and Go Farmers Market this year? Is there a way to calculate?
I don't know that I could tell you a number. I would tell you that we probably we had certainly way fewer vendors. So we strategically, purposely only had about 6 vendors. But I would say 200 to 300 people. That's not right. 100 to 200 people a day on those Thursdays came out. It was very stressful because it was in a time where there was so much unknown about COVID and what health and safety really should look like. And the whole idea of wearing masks, and even from our vendor side, their unwillingness, and from our attendee side, their unknowingness. And so it was really stressful. And kudos to Sarah, because it was a tough thing to do. But in the end, we did feel like it was worth our time and worth our while. And we're hopeful that we'll be able to get back to some normal this summer. Sadly, I saw an article this morning talking about that we have a potential of a year out before we will reach herd immunity in the state of Wisconsin. And so I think if that is the case, I think we will be challenged moving forward in what we do with farmers markets, celebrate grafting events, even a Christmas parade again next year. I mean, I think I'm hopeful that those are startling figures that will make call to action happen faster, and so we'll see some relief on that. But I think that is something we have to be really ever aware of. That was a long answer to a really short question.
And then the money that that were not used for the fireworks, they just are remaining in an account and be held for when we can.
Yeah,
do that.
so we did not, we didn't take the money. The chamber didn't take the 30,000 and put it in the Celebrate Grafton account, but it's there and ready budgeted for 2021. Again.
And we at the Celebrate level, there really wasn't any fundraising that went on last year, though. So it wasn't that there was any active solicitation, no mailings went out, no. So I mean, it was basically a respect for the business community and everybody else that was being impacted at the time.
Is the state of the community presentations going to be in YouTube after?
Yes.
Okay, some of us can't
Definitely.
attend on
It'll
that
be on
day.
YouTube. It'll be probably on our website.
Okay.
Very easily accessible. Definitely.
Can you edit my stuff out?
We already did that. Actually, Jim did a great job. I'm very fortunate to work with two people who understand technology. And so the technology that they've brought to our office and to our community is astounding. Our virtual visits with Santa, amazing. It was just such a cool experience to be able to see kids actually talking to Santa, and the way that technology worked was fantastic. Jeff figured out the same kind of technology when he read his Christmas story through the police. I think, what that's done for us has really impacted us in a positive way. And same is true for our state of community. So Jim came in and taped with us. Lester's coming in tomorrow. School district can figure it out on their own because that's what they do. So Jeff had someone in his office take care of it. So he sent us his presentation, but that's pretty cool that we can really do this.
I think the line that judging their homes, stupid decorations, but I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think just the Facebook Live stuff that's going out there. I mean, even in the very beginning, at one point, my backyard is First Avenue, and Mel's was taking food from Wayne's Drive-In to Village Point Commons to help with what was going on there. And I knew it was coming, so I went out my backyard, and my one and only Facebook Live. I don't think I'll ever do it again, but people are watching and going, I lied, I did too. I did all through the Veterans Day. But people are commenting as I'm doing it. I'm kind of freaking out, but it is very, very impactful to see what it does.
Well, thank you much.
I got something, if you don't mind. Pam, I want to reiterate a thank you to you and your staff, especially the little Christmas thing you had going on, the cookbook, the DVD, and I know you got Santa to work overtime. So thank you for all that.
If you haven't seen the video, let me know. I'd be happy to. I got people. See that if you want.
All right. Well, thank you all and have a great evening.
Thanks.
All right, let's move on to item 6, resolutions, ordinance, and action items. And we have 8 items from Public Works. So let's get started. Item 1 is a motion to approve the contract for 2021 quarterly groundwater monitoring and the 2020 annual report in an amount not to exceed $42,000. And approve the vapor intrusion follow-up in the amount of $32,000 contingent on response. Requirements from the DNR be approved.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
So motion and second, there's a lot of good information in the minutes. But if there's an additional information that you need that you did not get out of the minutes, Amber is here. But I think this is a good one because I think this actually, especially regarding the vapor intrusion minutes, you want to kind of give us a little bit on that one?
Sure. So that's a newer requirement that DNR has been focusing on for the last couple of years. So we brought this up in the last year. We did some shallow ground monitoring wells earlier this fall, hoping to get some groundwater samples and not have to do a true full vapor intrusion study, which would require going into homes and basements and things like that. We didn't get the amount of results that we were hoping to get from that. We only got water out of one of those shallow groundwater wells. The rest of them were dry, and we didn't encounter any groundwater, but TRC is currently working on putting that together and packaging it in a way to propose it to the DNR. And so we still have some hopes that we will get away without having to do any further vapor intrusion work, but that is yet to be decided.
Any questions for Amber? Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Does the board feel comfortable acting on all the equipment related items on the Board of Public Works agenda?
Is that really 2, 3, and 4 then?
That would be 2, 3, 4.
8?
2, 3, and 4 are public works, and 8 is utilities, so you might want to do just 2, 3, and 4.
Entertain a motion for items 2, 3, and 4.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, items 2. Is the motion to authorize the purchase of a truck chassis and cab to be used for 10-yard dump truck from Creek Truck for $119,785. Item 3 is a motion to authorize the purchase of a Kubota SS tractor from Luckin and Company for the amount of $46,132. Item 4 is a motion to authorize the purchase of an Advance 528 cab from Bobcat Plus in the amount of $56,146.48 be approved. Anything you wish to add to any of those items, Amber?
No, just those were the 3 pieces of equipment for public works, for the 2021 budget, and we are under the budget amount.
Again, there's good minutes on all of them, so, good. Final comments, questions? Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 5 is a motion to approve the waiving of penalties and late fees and utility bills for the first quarter of 2021 be approved.
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, again, recognition of the economics that we live in, and also a little bit of kudos to Tom for recognizing the fees that have been imposed on our residents in the last couple of years. Any questions on that? Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 6 is the motion to enter into a contractual agreement with Symbiote Science and Engineering for engineering and construction of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to provide professional engineering services for the design and build document preparation of the water and wastewater treatment plant chemical coagulant feed system improvements on a time and material basis not to exceed $51,590.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All right, Amber, you're gonna have to give us 30 seconds on that one.
Sure. So this is part of our work in regards to our DNR permit through the water wastewater treatment plant. It is also part of our adaptive management plan that we would do these upgrades at the plants that are kind of some minimal upgrades and less costly than some other projects to help us meet our new permit requirements along with the farm practices that we're working on around the area.
Questions? Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 7 is motion to accept the proposal from Core and Main to purchase 816 5/8-inch meters, 35 1-inch meters, and the 542 video registers for a cost not to exceed $158,222.32 be approved.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And this is the ongoing meter replacement.
The ongoing, their 3rd year of ongoing meter change outs.
Yeah.
We're starting to really realize the customer service aspect of having these. When people have leaks and high water usage, we're being able to notice it before they even know they have a problem. Kind of proactively reach out to them and get them to get things fixed before they use too much water and their bill keeps increasing. And we're much able to help residents solve their water issues. You know, we can go in and see an hourly use and say, hey, it's in the middle of the night, it's going off for 3 or 4 hours, and help them kind of figure out what their water use issues are. So it's been very helpful.
And that's the beauty of this new system that the utility is implementing, in that in prior years, we did quarterly readings and we couldn't help a customer with a high usage problem without going out there. And now, as Amber said, we can provide them with information on the spot through the phone. We have it right there. We can call up any meter and take a reading.
Other questions?
I second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passed. Item 8 is a motion to authorize the purchase of the 2021 John Deere 244L compact four-wheel drive loader with bucket and forks from Brooks Tractor in the amount of $67,500 be approved.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. All right, move on to item 8. We have one individual in their place of employment asking for an operator's license. Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 9, report of the bills. Entertain a motion for approval of village expenditures for $390,989.18.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, few questions went back and forth, they were answered, but I asked Paul to be available just in case. Anybody have any questions on the bills? Yes, Tom?
I just have one that just jumped out at me. It's on, back to, on page 2, AT&T services having to do with, $1,155, for forestry iPad inventory. So
Sure, so those are iPads, that we planned on using to do our tree inventory updates. If we were going to have an intern in-house do the tree inventory, we ended up subbing that out, but we had quite a bit of money left in our grant. So we were able to purchase those iPads, and we're able to maintain our inventory as the guys are out there trimming and removing and planting trees. And so a portion of that will get reimbursed. 50% of that will get reimbursed from DNR.
so that those purchases were to AT&T.
They were.
Other questions? Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Skip number 7.
I did. Go back to number 7, move number 6. Okay, Department of Officers report. The only thing I can report on that I know about, and maybe what I had is question on the potential signalization meeting that you guys had with the county and town. What road?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've been in discussions with the proposed development at Falls Road and Port Washington Road. We've been in discussion with both the town of Grafton and the county on what it would look like to put a signal there, whose responsibility it would be, what the developer for their development, as well as some of our residential developments in the area, how we would piece together funds to make that happen. It's a pretty expensive endeavor, probably a good $300,000 just for the signal, and then most likely some road work leading up to it that could easily add up to another couple $100,000. So it's a pretty big project. Right now, the county is only looking at, they typically put in 10% cost shares, even though, Port Washington Road is their road. So we're just in the initial discussions on how that could look and how we could all work together, it's traffic from all of our communities. So how that could look in the future.
More to come?
What's that?
More to come?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you wish to pass along with the group?
There's an update also on waste management taking over our contract for garbage. We had a good meeting with the district manager and one of the other managers with waste management last week. They completely own up to the fact that their merger has not gone smoothly and has not gone clearly, and they have not communicated well with us. It's a bit confusing because waste management did purchase advanced disposal, but because they were going to be so big together and become kind of a monopoly, they have this third company, GFL, doing a portion of their contract so that they have more companies involved. So we are still working through. Waste management is doing a majority of our residential, all of our cart pickups. GFL is doing some of like dumpster pickups at more of the businesses and things like that. They are confident that the hydraulic leak has been fixed, and anything that we're seeing leaking is possibly something else now. But they promised me that they would have their manager follow the truck when it went out today, so I don't have an update from today, and take a look at what is leaking, whether it is juices from garbage or whether it is hydraulic fluid or something else, that they would follow up and make sure. They also have a truck that has been in the shop for a number of months, getting a number of things fixed. They expect to have done soon, and they feel that truck may be in better shape than the one we have on our roads here 4 days a week. So we're looking at getting that switched out, which may open a new can of worms with different issues in a different truck, but we're hoping it will be better.
Okay, so any questions for Amber? Or the chief, or Paul? Anything you wish to pass along? Chief, anything else you want to add?
No, just one thing I had, he's not here with me tonight, but, I typically like to do the recognition in public, but, I will just go ahead and throw it out there. Officer Cheek, is going to, receive a certificate of appreciation from the chief, for his actions in the pursuit last week. Could have turned it real bad, real quick, but Officer Cheek maintained very professional demeanor during the entire ordeal, and we were able to get the suspect into custody without any incident. We did recover a stolen gun, some drugs out of the vehicle, so it was a good job on his part, and we're fortunate that nobody sustained any injuries from the accident resulting from the pursuit, but we did get him in custody, and I did want to recognize Officer Cheek for his actions during that event.
I spoke with the parents of the girl who hit
Mhm.
with our church, and she's on her way back to college.
Oh, wow.
She's supposed to pick up her girlfriend here on their way to West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
But they were pleased how well professional you guys handled it.
Oh, very good.
Chief, can you give us an update on the nail situation?
I can tell you that we are very well aware of who's doing it, but I can't give you anything different than that, and because I don't want to jeopardize the investigation.
Is that still going on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We should continue to be a little bit vigilant.
Yeah.
The last one was over on, near Meyer, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Alfonso was
Okay.
also one day.
All right. All good? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Don't move.
Grab one. One over there, I think Dave.
Oh, that was Jim.
Oh, Jim, okay, and a second.
Give it Dan.
And then Dan. All right, motion a second, all in favor?
Aye.